What is going on, everyone? And welcome to my channel, Code with Romi. In this channel, we're going to be going over code lessons, basics, web development, and so forth, as well as occasional tech reviews. As for today, I'm going to be breaking down recursion in Python in the simplest way possible. So what is recursion? Recursion is when a function calls itself to solve a smaller version of the problem. It's commonly used in problems like calculating factorials, traversing trees, or solving mathematical puzzles. So let's look at an example here. You guys are able to walk through with me if you'd like to test it yourself. I may or may not post the code and link it to maybe my GitHub or so forth. But we're going to be creating a function called factorial that returns the factorial of a given number. Also, do not mind when I do make mistakes. I am human. There might be some grammatical errors when I type. Try your best to look past it. We're focusing on the code here, so bear with me. So the base case is when n equals 0 minus the function returns 1. So basically, if n is greater than 0, it returns n multiplied by the factorial of n minus 1. And you're going to see here, as I said, you can code and walk through with me. You can fast forward to the end of the code. It's really up to you. This is just so you have a basic understanding of recursion in Python. You can also use whichever coding environment of your choice, whichever IDE for the most part. I'm using Visual Studio Code or VS Code on my Mac. If you are on a Mac, you can also use Xcode, or you can use Sublime Text, both Windows or Mac. It is really up to you. I just prefer to use VS Code because it's more user-friendly in my case, and I've been using it for a while when it comes to my schoolwork and so forth and utilizing my projects there. So I've just been accustomed to using it. As it relates to Java and so forth, sometimes I may branch out to Eclipse, but for the most part, I'll be using VS Code for this. So, as I mentioned with the code, if n is greater than 0, it returns n multiplied by the factorial of n minus 1. So this means the function keeps calling itself, reducing the value of n until it hits 0. So when we call factorial 5, which is what we're going to be using for the code here, Python will calculate 5 times factorial of 4, which becomes 4 times factorial of 3, and continues all the way down to factorial of 0. In this case, that's the base case and returns 1. So the final result is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which equals 120. We will be running the code here. As I mentioned, I may or may not post it in the description or with the GitHub link or so forth, but it's a simple walkthrough. You can just copy exactly what I'm doing. You can change up the numbers yourself, experiment with it as you like. It's just to explain recursion in the simplest way I can with Python. So if this helped you understand recursion better, hit the like and subscribe. And if you ever need help with code reviews, coding overall, or any computer science concepts, you can check out my portfolio website. I'll be linking that in the description. I also have a Fiverr that I'll also probably link as well there. And I want to thank you all for watching. And this is Coding with Romi, and I look forward to continuing into the next lesson. Or let's not say I'm not a teacher, I'm not a certified teacher. This is just me sharing my experience or my lessons, whatever I have learned through my own studies, so forth. I did get my bachelor's degree in computer science, and now I enjoy web development for the most part. I am not the best coder as it comes to Python and so forth, but I do have an understanding of it. And that's why this will also help me to maintain, my knowledge of what I've learned and so forth, as practice becomes perfect, as you all know. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So this is me making sure that I keep whatever I've learned. So thank you guys for tuning in, and take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.